Welcome to Steel Town. I'm your host, Kelly Fedor, and on today's episode, Our Mining Future, we discuss the transition to high-quality magnetite and why South Australia could be called the new Pilbara. But first, let's check in with Liberty Primary Metals Australia's CEO, Sandip Biswas, for his update. Thanks for your time, Sandip. How is steel production progressing following the restart?
It's been going on very well. We are holding steady around 70% capacity and have produced around 22,000 tons of steel since the resumption of production. However, our next challenge this week is an interruption of our gas supply because our energy provider needs to carry out a planned maintenance work. We have been advised that the repair work will take about 3 weeks. Nevertheless, we have come up with a workaround, which means we'll have to take the pellet plant and the rolling mill down temporarily. But the blast furnace will continue to operate using more coke instead of the mix with natural gas.
GFG recently announced they'd negotiated a new term sheet for $150 million. Do you have an update on that?
We are working through the process with a major global credit fund. As you can appreciate, it's a thorough process, and the holiday period has posed a challenge, but I expect it will be finalized in the next few weeks. This funding will provide critical cash flow, supporting suppliers, employees, and the operation of the company across all divisions. Funding will be another positive step forward, helping us build momentum following the resumption of steel production at Whyalla steelworks earlier this month. And of course, continuity of steel make means we are also progressing on our black-to-back initiative. Our ramp up to the full production will enable us to capitalize on the drop of the raw material prices and slight improvement in steel spreads. This with other initiatives will turn the business around, and I'm confident will make us move to a position of profit. However, this won't be an easy journey. It will take time, but we are moving forward. And every listener has seen how our Whyalla team rise up to the occasion in the face of adversity. That was an incredible undertaking. I'm confident we will succeed in our next challenge as well.
On mining, the iron knob hematite reserve has been nearing depletion for some time, and mining there has been ramping down. We'll discuss that in depth later in the podcast. But first, how is GFG supporting the local contractors who are impacted by this?
We made the decision to place mining and processing operation at iron knob into care and maintenance until we completed a comprehensive assessment on the viability of extracting the remaining resources from a technically difficult pit. And this planned transition was communicated to all major stakeholders. Now, with the ramp up of full capacity at the steelworks, we are likely to have an increase in frontline positions, and we will look to recruit the locals impacted by the planned mining changes as a part of the magnetite expansion program, and the plan is to keep the iron mining and the processing operation running.
Given everything that's going on, how optimistic are you about the future?
My optimism is always based on facts. We have best magnetite resource in the world, most safe coal mining operations in New South Wales, and have the most resilient, dedicated manpower across our businesses. So needless to say that we have the most supportive stakeholders who want us to succeed too. I believe in my team and myself. So what else is needed? It is just a matter of time that we will be a winner.
As promised, we'll return now to the mining side of the business. I sat down with the Executive General Manager of Mining Growth and Transformation, Gavin Hobart, to find out a little bit more about the transition away from hematite. Thanks for your time, Gavin. Can we start with the basics? What is hematite and what is magnetite?
Hi, Kelly, and yeah, thanks. Hematite and magnetite both are iron ore that reside in the ground. And for the last 120 years, the red ore, that red colouring, is typically what you'd associate it with hematite. And hematite in its raw form, as you dig it out of the ground, carries about 60% Fe plus quality. So it's what you can dig out of the ground, crush and put on export vessels. And that's typically what most people would associate iron ore with, that you see in the Pilbara and has served Whyalla for considerable time. For a long time, the second cousin was magnetite, because in the ground, it's about half that Fe content. It's typically 30 to 35% Fe. So it actually needs further processing to enrich it to a marketable product that is 60+% Fe. The benefit with magnetite is when you do process it, is actually a very clean ore. It's much higher grade than hematite, and it can command a premium in the market when you purchase that. And we also see that in that higher grade, it can facilitate alternative technologies to create iron and steel in the future.
GFG is ramping down hematite mining at Iron Knob. Why is that?
So in the Middleback range, hematite, that has served for some time. Back in the early 2000s, it was identified we had a finite hematite reserve remaining in our Middlebacks, and that we made a decision to transition the blast furnace actually from a hematite-based raw material to magnetite in 2007. We converted then. And so we've always known magnetite is our future, and hematite has got a finite life. As we mine hematite, we're always targeting the lowest cost, highest grade ores early in your planning. So over 100 years has seen the easier, higher grades go, and what is at the end of life is normally the more complex and higher cost, lower grade ores. And with pricing in the market as it is today, you just naturally look to when is the cost exceeding the revenue you can generate from a product. So the complexities of the knob have indicated to us it's time to draw breath on that particular chapter and continue the focus on building our magnetite future, both in terms of the quality of the product we generate and the scale at which we're generating the magnetite moving forward.
You call it the Magnetite Expansion Project, or MEP. Where are you in terms of ramping up mining and processing?
So we've fully advanced our knowledge now of what we need to apply. We refer to MEP 1, what we need to add to our current magnetite processing to actually enhance the product quality up to a direct reduction grade. For us, we've got a 70% product. On a global scale, it's kind of best in class. So we are at the point where we have nominated a contractor to implement the new equipment that we need to augment our process. And we're in the market with the financing. The growth phase of the MEPs, we refer to as MEP 2, that's still a 2 or 3 year process of major capital investment and different financing partners to look at the growth phase. So moving from our current 2.5 million tonne that MEP 1 will deliver to beyond 7 million tonne of production, and then further resources. The Middlebacks to us, I guess South Australia is a bit like the Pilbara equivalent when you talk of magnetite. So we see the huge opportunity, billions of tonnes of magnetite that has been stranded in this state. This starts to unlock now the pathway for the magnetite future, and particularly the Middleback range has an abundance of magnetite that will serve the next generations as we transition it towards domestic green iron and steel, and for the export market, a green iron product to service the export market seeking to have low carbon intensity iron available for their steel production.
I know that you and your team are working incredibly hard on this behind the scenes. How proud are you to be involved in something that will really transform the industry?
And I think it's that last piece. It will transform the industry, and we're working with assets and opportunities in Whyalla that are the envy of what others globally have at their disposal. So we talk about having some natural resources in Whyalla that are just unique to Whyalla. It's why Whyalla exists. And then we apply human ingenuity to those natural resources. So it's a unique location that is almost in place, ready for the future, because it has the resource, the sun, the wind, the port, and a community and workforce that's been built out of the iron ore sector with the steelworks there. So there's so many things there that has always been seen to be a tired or a dirty business, but this transformation will rejuvenate, reset the business for generations to come, making low carbon intensity iron and steel for both domestic and export market, and to be part of a team working to deliver on that vision. That's massively rewarding. We've all had challenges, but the team stay together because there's genuine belief that this is going to be an exciting transformation, that we will be proud to see that legacy in time to come, that we've been part of it.
Now to our nation building segment. Elisa Black was at the Steelworks this week as the business showed a key customer how it's helping enable the development of more solar farms through a collaboration with GFG's other Australian business, InfraBuild.
I'm here at the Tracklock plant on the grounds of the Whyalla Steelworks with National Business Development Manager Dwayne Cornish. What's happening here today?
We're showcasing our processing plant with array technologies. We're very proud about what we've been able to achieve over the last 2 years, scaling up to this. So today marks the commencement of this project.
Fantastic. We've spoken about solar piles on the podcast before, but can you remind us about what they are and how that product complements the offering from InfraBuild?
Absolutely. So the solar pile is a foundation for the large-scale solar farms. The process is it's a structural section that's embedded into the ground and then facilitates the torque tube to go across the top and the solar panels to go on top of the torque tube that then focuses on moving with the sun. So the piles play an integral part of the projects, and we're very proud to be a part of facilitating that rollout across the country.
I understand you've transformed an entire section of the steelworks. Can you tell us about that and the innovation that's moved this project forward?
Yeah, look, it's a monumental achievement for the whole business, and it's a fantastic project that I'm proud to be a part of. It's something that we've seen a repurpose of a large facility that's been a part of the rail rollout across Australia for the past 40 years. And we'd love to be able to see this be a part of the renewable energy rollout for potentially the next 40 years and beyond. To see that we're able to retrofit and repurpose resources is fantastic, and certainly in this current environment, it's very monumental, and I'm very proud to be a part of that.
Why is GFG so well positioned to service this market?
So given that we're able to supply both the main core products being the solar pile and the torque tube, we are the only producer in Australia to be able to supply both offerings in this market. So being able to do that, we're able to play a very integral, important part.
How proud are you of the team and what they've been able to do?
I couldn't be more prouder of what the team has been able to do in regards to cross collaboration, being prepared to do anything we want. There's certainly been no no's in this process, and they're very committed to being a part of this rollout. And just seeing the bright, bubbly faces out there and the way that how positive they are with what we're doing here today is very exciting.
The Tracklock plant was underutilised before some fresh thinking by the team saw it refitted to produce the solar piles. The team then collaborated with colleagues at InfraBuild to develop an offering for Array Technologies. I spoke to Array's Director of Asia Pacific, Michael Corio, as he finished his tour of the plant. So you represent a very prestigious global company which enables solar farms everywhere. Can you tell us a little bit about Array and its mission?
Array Technologies' mission is to generate energy with integrity. Our goal is to provide high-quality solar tracking solutions to our customers to help increase production and lower the levelized cost of energy over the life of a solar farm.
How has GFG's offering with torque tubes and solar piles helped that?
Our partners at GFG have enabled us to provide up to 95% Australian-made steel products for our solar farms. Not only has this enabled us to offer local solutions to our customers for programs such as the VRAP program, as part of the Victorian government's initiative to support local jobs in renewable energy manufacturing, but it's given us the ability to really play a great part in being part of a local community and helping to support the industries and people we work with every day.
How exciting is this partnership in terms of future projects?
It's very exciting. Going back almost 2 years ago, we met with GFG and came to Whyalla. And since then, we've delivered a full 130 megawatt project called Glen Rowan, which was the first Australian-made solar tracking system to meet that 95% locally made steel content. Now we're on to our second project, the Horsham project, also 130 megawatts. And it's really exciting to see, now that we've done a full project, we're into our next one, to see the growth and commitment and excitement in the marketplace, and really to show people that we can make our product in Australia. We have strong partners who have a lot of capabilities and skill, and it's really a testament to being able to say, yes, we can. We can own and create and have some of this industry as part of this big transition to renewables right here in Australia.
Fantastic. You're at the coalface today. Tell us a little bit about what you've enjoyed seeing and what you're most excited about seeing.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed being here in Whyalla, just meeting all of the people involved throughout the entire process, meeting even multi-generations of families here who all work at the steel mill. And, every little piece of the puzzle creates the final end product, whether it's at the blast furnace making the steel, or here at the track lock plant punching holes and fabricating the piles. So it's really exciting to see the whole process from beginning to end, and really meet and get to know the people involved and where the product's actually made.
Another project at the heart of the business is the GFG Foundation. I spoke to Chief Operating Officer Johnny Semengo. Johnny, thanks for your time. Can you tell us a bit about what the GFG Foundation is?
Yes, the GFG Foundation was really set up in order to give something back to the local communities, especially the young people in those communities. So this is really about encouraging young people to go into industry and demonstrating to them the industry has a future and they have a role within it.
What sort of things are the students doing with the foundation?
So lots of things they're doing. It's really is all about being an introduction to industry. So what our main thing is like, let's not do stuff they're already doing at school. One of the really amazing parts of our program is we have volunteer mentors from all areas of the GFG business and the areas we operate in. And the point of the volunteer mentors is that young people can actually get to see what working people in Whyalla do, how they got to their positions, what their career journeys were, and what they do at work. They also go on to excursions, so they actually get to see in Whyalla, particularly they get to see the steelworks, they get to see the reed beds, they get to see the mine, the Sandip mine, they get to see the port. We have a number of different excursions they go on, so they really get to see what actually happens in the steelworks. Because in a place like Whyalla, you've got a big steel fence that goes all the way around this place, and big boom gates at the front. So people live in this community, but actually have no idea what happens the other side of the steel fence. So what we're really doing is introducing young people to the other side of the steel fence, so they really get to see what drives their town. And in addition to that, we have some STEM work. They work on an inquiry project, which they present at the end of their 20-week session. And at the end of it, we also offer them priority work experience. So we don't just leave it at the program. They then have the opportunity to have a connection and a relationship with the business that can then go on to lead to employment. And employing young people in the community is so important to have that as a real future of the business rather than fly in, fly out workers.
I guess it's important to foster young talent, especially with the transformation to green iron and steel.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. There's a bit of an expression of, we're not just hard hats and noise, which is something I kind of piped up with years ago. The point being is that a lot of people think that industry is just hard hats and noise. It's a dirty, blokey industry. And what we're really showing is that this is really about technology. It's really about environmental progress, and it's got a whole load of future pointers that kids don't know about. So that is really important for us, to let kids know that it isn't the business of their grandfathers, it's the business of their children.
You're obviously very dedicated to the foundation. How much do you get out of it personally?
Well, look, it's fantastic to start with a program that was an idea of Sandip's and a blank sheet of paper, and take it to a program that now runs in 5 markets that GFG has a significant presence in. So to be able to plan and develop that business and bring in partners and really make that work. And I think what we've really done is really kind of, kept the promises to a minimum and really over delivered in terms of what we offer kids. So what personally for me has been great is, 1, having it run in 5 markets, and 2 is giving kids a faith in their own communities and a faith in their own future. That feels amazing.
As always, let's finish with a safety note.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Stevens. I'm a safety specialist at the Whyalla Steelworks, and I want to remind you that if you see something unsafe, don't hesitate, speak up, which could save a life.
Join us next time for another episode of Steel Town.